Welcome to the Pittsburgh Steelers wide receiver Montana Lemonious-Craig. So, the Steelers signed a wide receiver who took part in the team's rookie minicamp 2 weeks ago, and he impressed enough to sign a contract with the team. But first, before I get more into who he is and his introduction to you, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn notifications for everything Pittsburgh Steelers news and updates. Also, like this video. Now, let's get right back into it. So, in all the highlight videos that you've seen so far at OTAs, you may be wondering, who is number 14 out there? That's not George Pickens. George Pickens got traded away. So who is it? Well, Steelers signed wide receiver Montana Lemonious-Craig and gave him number 14 to wear in camp. So who exactly is he? Well, he's the third rookie and fourth player the team signed coming out of its rookie minicamp. Players who go there to try out and try to make this team and earn a contract. So, Lemonious-Craig, he spent the first 3 seasons of his collegiate career at Colorado before transferring to Arizona, where he spent the last 2 seasons. At Arizona, Lemonious-Craig caught 45 passes for 468 yards and 4 touchdowns between 2023 and 2024. His best collegiate season came in 2022 when he was at Colorado. He pulled in 23 receptions for 359 yards and 3 touchdowns. So, most of his production, however, came at Arizona in 2023 with 28 receptions for 296 yards and 3 touchdowns. With eventual first-round pick, Tetairoa McMillan dominating the target share, Lemonious-Craig hauled in just 17 passes and 172 yards and a touchdown in this past season in 2024. So, with a career yards per reception average of 20.5, Lemonious-Craig will look to prove his value as a deep threat with the Pittsburgh Steelers. So, when he was going into the draft, he scored a 5.57 relative athletic score based on his pre-draft testing measuring in at 6'1" and 191 pounds. He also had a 35-inch vertical and ran a 4.54 40-yard dash time. So that score isn't really that good. It's on the middle level for wide receivers because this score ranked 1,692 out of 3,815 wide receivers from 1987 to 2025. So it's just middle level. So the Pittsburgh Steelers, when adding Lemonious-Craig, it's another receiver for some depth because OTAs have already started, and he will join a room headlined by DK Metcalf, Calvin Austin III, Roman Wilson, and Robert Woods. Obviously, there's some other players in there trying to make this team and fighting their way on the roster, but those guys are probably locks. So Lemonious-Craig, he will now fill the Steelers roster out with 91 players. Obviously, normal rosters around the league is a cap at 90-man rosters, but the team is allowed to keep 91 due to outside linebacker Julius Welshoff being a granted international exception. So, Lemonious-Craig, he will wear number 14, like I already mentioned, which was last worn by wide receiver George Pickens, who was traded to the Dallas Cowboys on May 7th after 3 seasons with the Steelers. Lemonious-Craig, he wore number 5 at Arizona, and number currently assigned to defensive back Deshaun Jameson. The Steelers hadn't acquired a receiver after dealing Pickens, so Lemonious-Craig is now the 11th wide receiver on their roster and the first player at wide receiver they acquired since that trade, and they immediately give him George Pickens' number. So, you see many Steelers fans on social media, they're confused because they didn't realize they signed a wide receiver and we see number 14, and we didn't know who that was. Well, it's Lemonious-Craig. So he'll get a chance to stick around if he can impress during OTAs, with 3 of Pittsburgh Steelers' 6 scheduled sessions taking place this past week and 3 more next week. So, Lemonious-Craig, he is more than likely just going to be a camp body. We see players like Roc Taylor. He's a player who the Pittsburgh Steelers fans really like, and he's right now a little bit injured, a little bit banged up, so he hasn't really participated fully yet, but he's a player that has a better chance of probably making this roster than Lemonious-Craig. This is a player that's going to be in there for OTAs, probably going to be there in for training camp, player that may be playing in the preseason to try to earn a spot, but more than likely he'll probably end up being just a practice squad type of player or just a body that we have on the team currently. So I don't expect too much from the signing of Lemonious-Craig, but he is a player and the first player signed since the George Pickens trade and immediately given number 14. So let's move over to a different topic in the video, but still surrounding the main theme, number 14 jersey number, because Kenneth Gainwell has now requested to change his number to number 14. And this is a player who wore number 14 with the Philadelphia Eagles, and currently with the Pittsburgh Steelers, he had to wear a different jersey number because it was occupied by obviously George Pickens at the time. And this is a player who now that George Pickens is gone, he requested and will change his number to the 14 jersey number. So Lemonious-Craig, he will have to earn his way onto this roster, and if he does, he'll have to wear a different number now, because now that 14 jersey number will be Kenneth Gainwell's. So it was going to be interesting to see if DK Metcalf was going to stick with number 4, or if he was going to be changing his number to 14, in which he wore with the Seahawks, because we all know in his interview done with the Pittsburgh Steelers media, he was asked about this, asked if he was going to ask George Pickens to switch his number, and if he was going to wear number 14 with the Steelers, and he said no, he didn't want to kind of disrespect George Pickens by doing that, asking for his jersey number, so he was going to stick with number 4 and not go to 14. So we were all thinking, hey, maybe with George Pickens gone, DK Metcalf, he was going to go switch to 14. But no, he sticks with number 4, and that means all the fans that kind of bought his jersey, in which was number 4, are relieved, because now they don't have to buy another DK Metcalf jersey that switched to 14, because he's sticking with number 4. So Kenneth Gainwell, however, if you have one of his jerseys, he will be rocking number 14. And I guess that number is very special to him, because he wore that with the Philadelphia Eagles, and I guess he didn't like the jersey number that he was given this season with the Steelers after signing with the team, because he immediately changed it once George Pickens left. So that's quite interesting. But Lemonious-Craig, even though he was wearing number 14 his first couple of days at Steelers camp at OTAs, he'll now have to find a different jersey number. He'll probably still wear it for the time being, because right now it's still only camp, but down the road, practice squad, if he makes it, he'll have to wear a different jersey number. But anyway, that's a little bit new update for you in terms of just the theme of this video around the Steelers jersey numbers. Because it is just camp and there is like 91 players on this roster, we do see duplicate jersey numbers on the practice field, multiple guys wearing the same jersey number, but those players who do that more than likely are players trying to earn their spot on the team, and they're just giving any random jersey number. That, even if it matches someone else, it doesn't matter. But anyway, as we head into the second week of OTAs, so far these players and these tryout players, they're performing on the football field, and they're just going through the little things. At this point in the offseason, you can't really tell too much by a player. It's just going through the motions, getting ready for training camp, where you're actually allowed to put on pads, actually able to move and hit guys and go up and actually make some plays. Obviously preseason as well. But I've covered everything throughout the OTAs thus far with highlights. I covered every new player that we signed this offseason. It's on the channel, so make sure you go ahead and check those players out, and make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn notifications for everything continuing to cover Pittsburgh Steelers football. I have it covered. This is the best spot for it. So subscribe, turn notifications, like the video, and also comment down below your thoughts on the addition of Lemonious-Craig. Do you think he has any chance to make this actual 53-man roster when cutdowns happen? Or do you think he's just a camp body and you think he's just maybe a practice squad type of player? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below on this addition to the team. And your thoughts on Kenneth Gainwell switching to number 14, not DK Metcalf, and the Steelers basically giving away that jersey number to the first wide receiver that they signed after the George Pickens trade. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below on everything. All the topics covered in this video. But that's it for me, however. So I'll see you guys all later. Until the next video, I'm out. Peace.